हरि ओम। वक्रतुंड महाकाय सूर्यकोटि समप्रभा निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। गुरु ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुदेवो महेश्वरः गुरु साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Namaste friends. Team Param Vedanta welcomes you all to session 11 of Drik, Drishya, Viveka. We are in the penultimate session of this great text. In our last session, we studied Pratibhasika Jiva in the verses 38 to 40. In today's session, we are taking up verses from 41 to 44 for our study. Verse 41 describes the Vyavaharika Jiva who believes Vyavaharika Jagat as real. We have Dr. Sanjay Banakal sir to explain this. Verse 42 talks about the Paramarthika Jiva who knows its identity with Brahman. Srimati Soumya Naik will elaborate on this. Verse 43 and 44 compares Pratibhasika Jiva, Vyavaharika Jiva, and Paramarthika Jiva to bubble, wave, and water respectively, and goes on to deal with their attributes. Dr. Sachin sir and Dr. Kiran sir will help us to decode this example and understand what it means. Today's session will be moderated by Dr. Anupama Shetty, who will later conduct a teaching quiz also on the 4 verses that are being presented today. I now invite her to give a brief introduction to the day's topic. Over to you, madam.
Thank you, sir. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Sada Shiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Om. Today we are studying Drik, Drishya, Viveka verses 41 to 44. As Sri Venkatesh just said, I'll give a brief introduction to these verses. Up till now, we are familiar with the 3 seers or Drik. Seer 1 was the sense organs, Seer 2 the mind, and Seer 3 Sakshi, the original consciousness. Vidyaranya Swami is now introducing us to the 3 jivas. Jiva 1 is the Paramarthika Jiva, which, with its Maya Shakti, manifests the Vyavaharika Jiva 2 along with the Vyavaharika Prapancha. And this Vyavaharika Jiva in Swapna Avastha with Nidra Shakti manifests Jiva 3, the Pratibhasika Jiva and the Swapna Prapancha. Henceforth, we refer to Paramarthika Jiva as Jiva 1, Vyavaharika Jiva as Jiva 2, and Pratibhasika Jiva as Jiva 3. So, who am I? Jiva 1, 2, or 3? I am Jiva 1, the Sakshi, the original consciousness. As Cit Ananda, the Bimba Chaitanyam, I lend Chidabhasa to Jiva 2, which in turn lends Chidabhasa to Jiva 3. This means that Jiva 2 and 3 have borrowed Chidabhasa. But anything borrowed is anitya, therefore nitya. This much is Shabda Jnanam, which all of us have as students of Vedanta. It is only by overcoming various pratibandhas with repeated sravana manana nidhidhyasana that this knowledge transforms our personality and becomes artha jnanam. A person with artha jnanam is a jnani, a paramarthika jiva whom we have called Jiva 1. He knows that all of these 4, the Vyavaharika Chidabhasa, Vyavaharika Prapancha, Pratibhasika Chidabhasa, and its Prapancha are all mithya. He is a Jivan Mukta and is in Jivan Mukti Avastha all the time. Yatra na anyat pashyati, na anya shrunoti, na anyat vijanati, sa bhuma. How do we get there? We need to rectify 2 of our basic errors. Getting back to where we started, we know that Jiva 2 with Nidra Shakti projects the Swapna Prapancha and Jiva 3. Jiva 1 with Maya Shakti projects Jagrut Prapancha and Jiva 2. The Nidra Shakti of Jiva 2 has two powers, Vikshepa, Avritti, Rupini. This Vikshepa Shakti projects the Swapna Prapancha, and the Avarna Shakti conceals its creator. Who's the creator? Jiva 2. And what is the nature of this new Jiva 3, the dream person? Nutne tu kalpayet. It has a new body-mind complex and a new Jagat. Not only that, this Jiva 3 is oblivious of its creator, Jiva 2. So it is only when the dreamer, the Jiva 3, wakes up that he becomes Jiva 2. Similarly, as Jiva 1, after projection of Jiva 2, its Prapancha, its Desha, its Kala, I forget that I am their creator. Tragically, I identify with this Jiva 2 and its Jivatvam. What is Jivatvam? Samsara. Reason being Maya and Nidra Shakti. Jiva Jagati Avritya Nutne tu Kalpayet. Reality being both Jiva 2 and Jiva 3 are projections, therefore Mithya. So, in order to realize the Mithyatvam of Swapna Prapancha and this Jiva 3, I need to wake up first from Nidra 1 and get the knowledge Aham Vyavaharika Jiva Asmi. With this knowledge, the Mithyatvam of Jiva 3 and its Prapancha is absolutely effortless. Similarly, after being tossed around by my Prarabdha, I start thinking Pariksha Lokan Karmachitan. I reach a stage of Nirvedam. I realize I need Guru Shastra Upadesha to get self-knowledge and understand the Mithyatvam of Jagrat Prapancha. I have to wake up spiritually, identify with Jiva 1 to effortlessly know that Mai Eva Sakalam Jatam, Mai Sarvam Pratishtitam. In Dakshina Murti Stotra, we have seen Yaha Sakshat Kurute Prabodha Samaye. That means after waking up from Nidra 2, Swatmanam Eva Advayam. I am the only Satya Vastu and there is no other. Is it enough to have this Jnanam? No. We need to be Jnana Nishtas by persistent Shravana Manana Nidhidhyasana. For how long? Up to death. Lord Krishna has said, Dhyayate Vishayan Pumsaha Sangas Teshopajayate Sangat Sanjayate Kamaha Kamat Krodo Abhijayate. This means even wise men can get dragged into this vyavaharika and pratibhasika veshas. Therefore, na anyat vikshate. Don't invoke the other two jivas. Message being, claim the Paramarthika Jiva, put on the Vesha of Vyavaharika Jiva. There's no need to remove the Vesham at all. But just remember, Vesham is Vesham, and Vesham will not cause samsara. This is called Jivan Mukti, and life becomes a Leela. In Upadesha Sara, we have seen Vesha Anantaha Swatma Darshanam. This means relinquishing Veshas, the assumed appearances, once true self is revealed. Isha Darshanam Swatma Rupataha. Perception of Ishvara is a state of the nature of Paramarthika self. And what is the nature of this Paramarthika self? Jiva 1, Asti Bhati Priya. We have seen in this verse, Asti Bhati Priyam Nama Rupa Ched Amsha Panchakam. Adhyatraya, meaning the first three, Asti Bhati Rupam, Brahma Rupam, and Jagat Rupam Tatodvaya. Next slide, please. As seen here, we see Jiva 1, the original consciousness, is Cit Ananda, that is Asti Bhati Priya. And this Jiva 1 lends Cit Ananda to all Namarupas. Jiva 2 borrows Cit Ananda from Jiva 1 and Tat Dware, via Jiva 2, further Cit Ananda is lent to Jiva 3. Vidyaranya Swami gives this comparison. He says all attributes of water, let's take the example of H2O, pervade both wave and bubble. He says water can be compared to Jiva 1, wave to Jiva 2, and bubble to Jiva 3. So, what am I? Water, wave, or bubble? We know that wave and bubble can be disturbed by something as slight as a wind, but even a cyclone cannot do anything to the nature of water, H2O. So, am I Jiva 1, Jiva 2, or Jiva 3? As a Jnani, I know I am Jiva 1, Cit Ananda. This is Artha Jnanam. Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha. I request Dr. Sanjay Banekal to please take over.
Om Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha. The author of Drishya Viveka is summarizing the essence of Vedanta in these final verses. He started off with an inquiry into the nature of oneself through discrimination between the seer and the seen. He mentioned that the confusion between the seer and the seen is the root cause of samsara. When this confusion is eliminated or clarified through knowledge, samsara disappears. So in this part of the text, he employs a different approach to present the essence of Vedanta. The individual here is categorized according to our various states of experience. This we have seen in the Mandukya, where 3 states of experiences have been mentioned. Here, the author says there is a dream and waking experience, and he gives a different terminology. A dreamer is known as a Pratibhasika Jiva, and the waker is vyavaharika Jiva. The one who witnesses these 2 states is the absolute seer, the Paramarthika Jiva. So we have Pratibhasika Jiva, a dreamer, who wakes up to a vyavaharika Jiva, that is the waking person, waking personality, and the ultimate, the absolute seer, is the Paramarthika Jiva. It's the same Paramarthika Jiva who appears as Vyavaharika Jiva during the waking stage, and when he dreams, he becomes a Pratibhasika Jiva. In the previous verse number 40, the author mentioned that the ego associated with the dream experience, that is, dreamer or a Pratibhasika Jiva, considers the dream to be real while in dream. However, upon waking up from the dream, the same dreamer, now referred to as the waker or Vyavaharika Jiva, that is, the ego associated with the waking experience, considers that the dream was unreal. If the dream was unreal for the waker, what about the waking state? That is what is mentioned in the verse number 41. Next slide, please. Vyavaharika Jivo yaha tad jagad vyavaharikam satyam pratyeti mithyeti manyate paramarthikaha. Yaha, he who is vyavaharika Jiva, the waker, pratyeti, considers tat jagat vyavaharikam, that waker's universe, the satyam, as real. Whereas paramarthikaha, the wise man, manyate, he knows that waker's universe as mithya, the unreal. So the waker who has woken up from dream now considers that the waker's experience as real. Whereas the one who has woken up to his even higher state of reality through knowledge, now referred to as a Paramarthika Jiva, knows that the waker's world is also unreal, just as dream. Waking up from dream is easy. On the other hand, waking up to the one's higher nature requires knowledge, gained through consistent sravanam, mananam, and nidhidhyasanam. Dream world disappears instantly upon waking up, whereas the waker's world doesn't disappear upon gaining knowledge. A jnani, who can be now called as Paramarthika Jiva, goes through various experiences like any ignorant person, but doesn't take them as real. This is the basic difference. This is a cognitive process. just like how we experience the sunrise and sunset. But intellectually consider there is no sunrise, there is no sunset, but it is the rotation of the earth which makes us believe there is a sun rising and setting. So if an enlightened person considers this world to be unreal, then what does he consider to be real? That will be seen in the next verse, number 42. Thank you, Hari Om.
Hari Om. Hari Om, Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Paramarthika Jivastu Brahmaikyam Paramarthikam Pratyeti Vikshate Nanyad Vikshate Tvanritatmana. So, in the next slide, we will see how the Pratibhasika Jiva sees the Swapna Prapancha as real. When he wakes up, what happens? He becomes a vyavaharika jiva, and the swapna prapancha becomes unreal, and the jagrata prapancha becomes real. So when this vyavaharika jiva wakes up and recognizes that I am paramarthika jiva, there is no paramarthika prapancha. So the author says Brahma Aikyam Paramarthikam. Next slide. So when I know that I am Paramarthika Jiva, Brahma Aikyam becomes a fact. He does not say I become Brahman. He says I was, I am, and I ever will be Brahman. Therefore, Brahma Aikyam Paramarthikam. Pratyeti means he knows that by constant sravanam, mananam, and nidhidhyasanam, he retains that fact on the surface of his mind all the time. Whatever activity he is doing, he always knows that. So Swamiji says gaining knowledge is relatively easy, but retaining it or being constantly aware of it is challenging. That's why jnanam is not enough. Jnana nishtha is required. So Sureshwaracharya says that this constant shravana, manana, nididhyasana is necessary, as even a wise one gets dragged into vyavaharika and pratibhasika jiva status throughout one's lifetime. So in the next slide, na anyat vikshate. Anyat means other. So author says, do not invoke the other two jivas. Which jivas? The vyavaharika and the pratibhasika jivas. The twofold ahankara and the twofold chidabhasa. Play your role in the divine drama and then just forget about it. Just like how an actor plays his role in the TV series or the movie and then he forgets about it. While transacting with the world, there is a constant awareness that all of this is incidental and it is mithya. Next slide. Vikshate tu anritatmana. So anritam means mithya. Mithya status of these four, that is the pratibhasika jiva and the swapna prapancha, vyavaharika jiva and the jagrata prapancha. So the moment the mithya status, next slide, is forgotten. So once we forget, if we forget the mithya status, what happens? This anritam becomes satyam and it can powerfully bind me. And what is the result? It is a feeling of being overwhelmed. So this can be tackled only by one method. That is knowing that it is mithya. So that is what a Paramarthika Jiva does. He is a wise person and he is a Jivan Mukta Jnani. Thank you.
Hari Om, Om Gurubhyo Namaha. The verse 43 goes this way. Madhuryan Dravashaityani Niradharmastarangake Anugamyat Tannishte Tene Apyanugata Yatha. Next slide, please. So the literal meaning is that sweetness, liquidity, and coolness are the qualities of the water. These qualities are present in a wave and also in the foam or the bubbles that depends on the wave. So, this meaning yatha, that means so, that will be explained in the next verse. But Now that we have discussed many times about Pratibhasika, Vyavaharika, and Paramarthika Jiva, this gives an example for all these three. What we can see is that the three gunas, which is none other from the wave, they are the sweetness, liquid form, and coolness. All these three. Swamiji says, why didn't Vidyaranya took four qualities? It is because it is compared to the Cit Ananda, the three attributes, the main things from the consciousness or Chidabhasa. Can you just go to the next slide, sir? Yeah. And these three things represented here as water, wave, and bubbles. If you press once again, water, wave, and bubbles. So Paramarthika, Vyavaharika, and Pratibhasika. So these are the three things. And in the next verse, Yatha, what happens if something like suddenly a cyclone or something which is very wind which is blowing heavily, all this Pratibhasika and Vyavaharika will dissolve. Dissolve into what? The Paramarthika. Hari Om.
Hari Om. Gurubhyo Namah. This is a very important verse. Sakshitaha Sachidanandaha Sambandha Vyavaharike Tad Varnena Anugachyate Tataiva Pratibhasike. This verse is very important because we have already learned about Paramarthika. Paramarthika is, ultimate, infinite, and always there, etc., etc. What exactly is this Paramarthika Jiva? You and me will be always asking. What is the difference between Paramarthika Jiva or Vyavaharika Jiva? Okay, you have described that it is in waking state, it is in dream state, etc. But we still don't know what is Paramarthika Jiva. Here, Paramarthika Jiva's definition is beautifully explained. It is the Sakshi. It is described here as Sakshi, that is the witness, because we are reading about seer and the seen. And what is its character? Sachidananda, or nature, or Swarupa is Sachidananda. That is the inherent characteristic. And because this inherent characteristic is reflected in the other two jivas, that is the Vyavaharika Jiva or the dream, that is Pratibhasika Jiva. Next slide, please. Before going into it, we should learn the difference between the nature and attributes, that is Swarupa or Guna. Swarupa is intrinsic, essential, and cannot be separated. This is very, very important. We should learn this very clearly. For example, sugar or sweetness. Anything and everything which is sweet has sugar in it. I taste something, some cake, it has got sugar, it is sweet, I know sugar is there. If somebody gives a sugar and I taste it, it is sweet, that means it is sugar. It says sour means it is not sugar. This is its intrinsic character. If there is a fire, here it's burning or heat is there. You cannot have a cold fire. If there is a light, its nature is to shed light. You can't have a dark light. This is the Swarupa or intrinsic nature. And what is the attribute? Attribute or guna is a temporary thing. You see, you give heat to the iron becomes hot. This is a temporary thing. Once it becomes cool or you remove the fire, it becomes this thing. Similarly, the crystal, once you shine a light on it, it reflects the light and brightens as if it is lighting by itself. This is its, even though as brilliant as it looks, it's not its original light, it is its attribute and it is temporary. Similarly, let us see, but what is the nature of the Paramarthika Jiva or Sakshi is Cit Ananda, that is existence, that is easiness, the consciousness, the awareness, and Ananda or bliss, or more clearly here we can define as Anantatvam or infiniteness. This is also we learned before as Asti Bhati Priyam. Let me explain it very. It is there in every substance which has Brahman in it. So let us assume that Brahman is not infinite and everything. Let us assume and then derive that Brahman is infinite. I'll give you an example. This phone. I brought this phone into it. Phone is there. isness, existence is there. So Brahman part of it is there. Second, I am aware of it. Me, I am seeing the phone, you are seeing the phone, both of us are aware of it. So consciousness is there. Third thing, I will explain it more in detail. This is one at a superficial meaning, anandam, bliss. It gives me anandam, so it is there. Or it may give me trouble, still I know it is trouble, so it is there. More describe, I'll describe it. This phone is broken. How it can be anantatvam? It still is a broken phone. Next, you split the phone, it is split into its essential metals, everything. But that substance will always be there. It may be in different form, but that substance you can never destroy. So in every being you see, such Cit Ananda is always there. What is the attribute? Nama Rupa. That is my ego reflecting it on and giving a name to it. This is phone. I am a human being. I am superhuman being. I am Kiran, etc. This is the attribute. This is the temporary. Otherwise, looking through me, in and through everything, Satchid Ananda, the Anantatvam, Brahmatvatvam is always there in everything. That we should say very clearly and we should learn to differentiate. Next slide, please. So, Sakshi is there in, through and through. What is this consciousness? Existence, consciousness and bliss or Anantatvam. This is reflected in vyavaharika because of the relationship which we have studied, as it is a substratum of everything. Next slide, please. And what is this inherent nature? That is Sat, that is its own existence. You don't need anything else to prove Sat. Chit, its own consciousness and its own Ananda. All three are inherent, doesn't need any other medium to reflect it. You don't need anything else to have sweetness. You don't need anything else to have fire. Its heat is there. You don't have to give anything else to for the fire to produce heat. Similarly, Sat Chit Ananda, all three together describes and it's inherently complete. You don't need anything. Whereas Chidabhasa, reflected like a mirror, like a crystal, borrows Drik from the Paramarthika Jiva. Even though I'm telling as a different example, you should know that whatever medium is nothing outside the Brahman. So even the so-called borrowing medium, whether it is crystal, everything, is only a different order of reality, just like waker, sleep, and deep sleep. Just like how moon borrows light from sun and it itself shines, this is always we as a mind reflects, takes the Satchidanandam and becomes sentient as if it is the sentient being. Next slide, please. So, to summarize, Sakshi, or in Turiya, in some other language in Mandukya, or in water as an example which was described before, or silence, or the space, whatever we describe, is the state in which other two states, that is vyavaharika and pratibhasika or deep sleep, all comes into being. It's not like 1, 2, and 3. All other states come within it. There is nothing beyond it. Next slide, please. Yeah. So this is very important and interesting. So I am Sachidananda, I am Brahman, I am Atman, and what is exactly is this? How? So can I control everything? This is where it comes. The mirror, as you are seeing, as long as you are in front of mirror, you are seeing your reflection. You are a Brahman, but the reflected. Whatever you are seeing is dependent on you or the mirror. It is the mirror. If the mirror is concave, you will see a big thing. If the mirror is convex, you will see a small thing, or anything vice versa. But the real you is you. You cannot influence or change it. But that image is there as long as only you are there. But you have no control. That is how the world also comes. You come into Paramarthika, you wake into Paramarthika, this world doesn't disappear. It is as it is because of the prarabdha, your mirror, this world continues to be there. It's not that just because I get enlightenment, all the disease disappear and I become something superhuman or something. No. As long as prarabdha, this body is there, this world will continue to be there, and whatever experiences attached it will be continues to be there. Only thing is, I will not be affected because I know this is attributes are temporary. I am Cit Ananda, the infinite and Ananta. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. That was a very nice explanation. Continuing from where you stopped, we have understood that as Ajnanis, a majority of us identify with Jiva 2 and 3 consciously. It's our first reflex to identify with Jiva 2 or Jiva 3. Therefore, we are Mahasamsaris. It is only through sravanam, mananam, nidhidhyasanam, a lot of effort, that we understand that we are Jiva 1. And to bring this as our uppermost thought, our constant thought, it requires overcoming a lot of pratibandhas and a lot of effort and maybe grace. So, as a jnani, one is aware that he is Sakshi. And he is in this state not sporadically, but all the time. This is called Sahaja Samadhi. Next slide, please. So, why are Jivas 2 and 3 Mithya? We know that Jiva alone is Cit Ananda, as Dr. Kiran just explained. That means existence, consciousness, bliss. And it lends Cit Ananda to Jiva 2, which in turn lends to Jiva 3. Anything borrowed is transient. Next slide, please. We have seen this example of water, wave, and bubble. We know how transient the wave and bubble are. Therefore, claim that I am Sakshi, Jiva 1. What happens when Jiva 2 and 3 resolve? Only the Nama and Rupa perish. On waking up from dream 1, Satchid Ananda resolves into Jiva 2. During Pralayam, Jivas 2 and 3 resolve, but their Satchid Ananda, their Asti Bhati Priya, merge with Jiva 1, the Sakshi, which is Nitya. So when the bubble bursts, its water merges with the wave. And when the wave ebbs, its water merges with the oceanic water. Satchid Ananda, Asti Bhati Priya, is the amness of I am, the existence, consciousness, and it is common to everyone. We should remember that any added attribute is just penam, bubble. It's a vesham. So if I win a trophy, or if I get promoted as a CEO, or buy the best new car in the industry, or buy the best house, etc., instead of inflating my ego, just call it penam. We can say it aloud. Nobody will understand. It's much easier than saying mithya, anritya, maya, namarupa, etc., which are very textual and philosophical. Just call it penam at that moment. Remember, this is just a bubble. As a reminder, as an auto-suggestion that I am Jiva 1 and nothing else matters, nothing else even exists. So, as Satchit Ananda Brahma, I should know Mai eva sakalam jati, Mai sarvam pratishtitam, Mai sarvam layam yati. In me alone, the waves of creation arise and resolve. After all, what is Akhilanda Koti Brahmanda? Penam only. Therefore, claim Sakshi, AHAM BRAHMA ASMI. And what do you think this wisdom is called? Drik, Drishya, Viveka. Thank you.
We can have a teaching quiz by Dr. Anupama. Dr. Anupama, please.
Yes, sir. Please fill in the blanks with the most suitable word from the block below. The Pratibhasika Jiva thinks Swapna Prapancha is
Vastavam or real.
That's right. Dash does not accept dream as dash in dream.
The Pratibhasika Jiva or Jiva 3 does not accept as a dream in dream.
That's right. To see dream as unreal, he has to
wake up from Nidra 1.
That's right. On waking up, he becomes
Vyavaharika Jiva, Jiva 2.
As Vyavaharika Jiva, both dash and dash are effortlessly seen as mithya.
Vyavaharika Jiva and as Vyavaharika Jiva, both Pratibhasika Jiva and Pratibhasika prapancha are effortlessly seen as mithya.
That's right.
Please explain again so that
Sure.
everybody is clear about these terms.
The Pratibhasika Jiva thinks Swapna Prapancha is real, Vastavam. The dreamer does not accept as dream in dream. To see dream as unreal, he needs to wake up from Nidra 1. On waking up, he becomes the Vyavaharika Jiva, which we have called Jiva 2. As the Vyavaharika Jiva, both the Pratibhasika Jiva and Prapancha are effortlessly seen as mithya. We all know that a dream is not true. Due to ignorance about its creator, which is the dash Jiva, the Vyavaharika Jiva thinks it and dash Prapancha are dash.
Due to ignorance about its creator, the creator of the Vyavaharika Jiva should be the Paramarthika Jiva. Due to ignorance about its creator, which is the Paramarthika Jiva, the Vyavaharika Jiva thinks it and dash Prapancha. The Vyavaharika Prapancha are real or Vastavam.
That's right. To realize Vidyatvam of this Vyavaharika Prapancha, he needs to wake up from
Nidra 2
and
and become a Paramarthika Jiva,
which we have called Jiva 1. This is possible by
through Guru Shastra Upadesha, sravanam, mananam, nidhidhyasanam.
so Ajnani is a dash Jiva.
Ajnani is a Paramarthika Jiva,
And he is a dash Mukta.
Jivan Mukta. Do you want to fill in the blanks again and tell anybody? No.
Due to ignorance of its creator, the Paramarthika Jiva, the Vyavaharika Jiva thinks it and Vyavaharika Prapancha are Vastavam. To realize Vidyatvam of Vyavaharika Prapancha, he needs to wake up from Nidra 2 and become a Paramarthika Jiva. This is possible by Shravana Manana Nidhidhyasanam. Ajnani is a Paramarthika Jiva and he is a Jivan Mukta. The Pratibhasika means dash and not dash reality.
The Pratibhasika means and if I should look from the options below, is a subjective. Pratibhasika means subjective and not an empirical reality.
Paramarthika Jiva experienced Jagrut Prapancha up to
the exhaustion of prarabdha.
Yes. Until then, despite dash correction, dash is the same.
Until then, despite cognitive correction, there is the experience is the same.
Yes. A Paramarthika Jiva is in dash dash avastha.
Paramarthika Jiva is in a Jivan Mukta avastha.
Jivas 2 and 3 are mithya because they have dash Satchidananda.
They have borrowed Satchidananda.
That's right. So Pratibhasika means subjective and not empirical reality because the word Pratibhasika means Pratibhase Kale Satyam, temporary existence only during experience. A Paramarthika Jiva experiences Jagrat Prapancha up to exhaustion of Prarabdha. Until then, despite cognitive correction, experience is the same. A Paramarthika Jiva is in Jivan Mukta Avastha. Both Jivas 2 and 3 are mithya because they have borrowed Cit Ananda. So, can you please name a few differences between Vyavaharika Mithya and Pratibhasika, the dreamer's Mithyatvam and the waker's Mithyatvam?
When the Pratibhasika Mithya, that means when you wake up from a dream, the dream body and the dream world disappears. But when you wake up from a Vyavaharika state to Paramarthika, the body and the world will continue.
That's right.
When you wake up from Pratibhasika, you come to Vyavahara. When you wake up from Vyavahara, you attain to the original state of Paramarthika.
Right.
Any other differences? All right, please tell us.
So, the Vyavaharika Mithya, on waking up from Nidra 2, I claim to be the Paramarthika Jiva, and the vyavaharika Jagat and Jiva do not physically disappear, as you said. I know that this vyavaharika Jiva and Prapancha are projected by me. That is the realization, okay? When I become Jiva 1. And the reason for waking up is Guru Shastra Upadesha and Mahavakya Vichara. The Pratibhasika Mithya, on waking up from Nidra 1, I know that I am not Jiva 3, that is the dream person, but I am the waker, Jiva 2. This Pratibhasika Jagat disappears physically also. There's no way of getting back to it. I, the Jiva 2, know that I had projected this dreamer's body and dreamer's prapancha. And the reason for waking up from dream is my prarabdha karma.
Proceed.
Yes, please. So, Vidyaranya Swami had given this example of the ocean and the bubbles and the wave. So, we learned here that the attributes of water, he had given 3 attributes, but for simplicity, let us take it as the nature of water, H2O, pervade both the wave and bubble. In this example, Jiva 1 is comparable to?
Jiva 1 is comparable to water, specifically not ocean, because water has a greater reality than ocean from a Vedantic angle.
That's right. Ocean is also Namarupa. And Jiva 2 to?
Wave.
Jiva 3 to?
Bubble.
Venam. Yeah. All right.
Proceed.
Yes, please. Please say which of these is true and which of these are false. Paramarthika Jiva lends Cit Ananda to vyavaharika and Pratibhasika Jivas.
False, because Paramarthika Jiva lends Sachidananda to Vyavahara, which in turn leads to Pratibhasika. So the answer should be false.
This Chidabhasa is associated with the temporary Sharira and Bimbananda.
This Chidabhasa is associated with temporal Sharira and Pratibimba Ananda. So the answer is false.
From Vyavaharika Jiva, the Pratibhasika Jiva borrows Cit Ananda.
From Vyavaharika Jiva, the Pratibhasika Jiva borrows Sachidananda. True.
That's right. Na jayate mriyate va kadachit means, as Paramarthika Jiva, I am Nitya.
That's true.
When Artha Jnanam transforms one's personality, it is called Shabda Jnanam.
It is just the reverse. So when Shabda Jnanam is understood, it becomes Artha Jnanam. So it is false.
That's good.
Please explain, just for clarity.
Yeah. Paramarthika Jiva lends Satchid Ananda to Vyavaharika alone, whereas it is Vyavaharika which lends Satchid Ananda to Pratibhasika Jiva. This Chidabhasa is associated with the temporary Sharira and Pratibimba Ananda, not Bimbananda. From the Vyavaharika Jiva, the Pratibhasika Jiva borrows Satchidananda, which is true. Na jayate mriyate kadachit means a Paramarthika Jiva is Nitya, true. When Shabda Jnanam, not Artha Jnanam, when Shabda Jnanam transforms one's personality, it is called Artha Jnanam. So it is false. So when Jivas 2 and 3 resolve, only their Nama Rupa perish.
When Jivas 2 and 3 resolve, only Nama Rupa perishes. That is true.
On waking up from Nidra 1, its Chidabhasa resolves into Paramarthika Jiva.
On waking up from Nidra 1, that is from dream, its Chidabhasa resolves into Paramarthika Jiva. 1 minute. On waking up from Nidra 1, it resolves into the Vyavaharika Jiva. So it is false.
That's right. During Pralayam, all the Jivas resolve.
During Pralayam, the Paramarthika never resolves. So the answer should be false.
When a bubble bursts, its gunas merge into a wave.
Absolutely true.
In me, the Paramarthika Jiva alone, all waves of creation arise and resolve.
In me, the ultimate Paramarthika Jiva alone, all the waves of creation arise, resolve, true.
That's right.
Please explain.
So when Jivas 2 and 3 resolve, only their Nama Rupas perish because the Satchid Ananda remains. And on waking up from Nidra 1, Satchid Ananda or the Chidhabhasa which it has borrowed resolves into the Vyavaharika Jiva, not the Paramarthika Jiva. During Pralayam, Jivas 2 and 3 resolved, not Jiva 1, so it is false. When a bubble bursts, its gunas merge into the wave, true. In me, the Paramarthika Jiva alone, all the waves of creation arise and resolve, true. Thank you. Om Shri Guru.
Thank you, Anupam Madam, for an in-depth moderation and an absorbing teaching quiz. Thank you all speakers for a wonderful session. Next week, we are going to wind up the study of Drik, Drishya, Viveka with the final set of verses. Coming Monday on 28th of July, let's tune in for third session of Mananam series at 6:45 p.m. to listen to Dr. Hegde sir, who will take up verses 20 to 29 of chapter 1, Valli 1 and of Kathopanishad. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om. Thank you. Thank you, sir.